Well, 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 look what we have in the shop today. We're going to get our first looks at this truck, and this is the most up and personal I've been with it so far. It's pretty rotted, and it's pretty damaged, but that's not going to stop my wife from having a great time. So she's going to smash the snot out of this thing. The guy before me ran this thing with the aluminum rims, and as you can see, they're a little damaged. So this is probably going to become our spare for the front, and we're probably going to take all the brakes out of the rear and just drop it down to a 15-inch rim on the back. I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to put smaller tires on it, make it so the tie rods are not such a big target. If I don't end up putting 15s on the back and I end up keeping the 16s, I'm just going to put the smaller tires on the back and use the bigger ones for spares on the front. I'm not too sure. It's pretty much just one and done where this thing's going. To get it in here, we did kind of rip the side open, so I will be bolting that back down. This thing is hard to move. The wife and I just pushed this into the shop here with this Mazda 3, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, we pretty much killed this Mazda 3 trying to move this truck. We ripped all the seat tie downs out of this thing. We ripped the whole trunk out of it, and then we shoved the trunk back in, trying to push it in. Yeah, that's good enough for me. But the real funny part is we ripped half the hood off, and the whole front bumper got ripped off. So this thing is a piece of junk that just will not stop. It is a tank and a half. So, anyway, Mazda 3 is a pile of junk. This truck here, we're going to start taking a look at the brakes, and then we're going to try to get it running. I have not done... Oh, he's even got some labels on here. I have not done anything to LS's before, so I'm not really going to play around with the electrical too much on this. I know there's so many people out there that sell aftermarket stuff for these, but unfortunately, I'm not really going to put any money into it. I'm not going to put headers onto it. I'm not going to do anything like that. I just want this thing to run and drive so the wife has some fun in a stock class derby for it. That's basically what I'm going to try to do. So first thing's brakes, second thing's run, or maybe I should do the run before I do the brakes, but I don't know. We're going to go from here, though. I'm going to pull the tires off, try to see what I can do with the brake lines. The master is completely dry. I'd like to come right out of the master to the front, and then right out of the master to the front. Just keep the front brakes. I should keep the back, but I think I'm just going to keep the front. Maybe I can just find... The problem is with this truck is that it's got an ABS unit, and my cousin used to drive one of these on the road, and when the brakes go clean, you need basically a computer to help you bleed the ABS unit, and I'm not doing that. I'm just going to completely get rid of it. Hopefully it works. So let's get going on this. We have been working on this truck quite a bit. What we've done is we've ran all new brake lines. They only had the expensive line, so that was nice. Not. Cost me about an extra $15. Lines all ran. I put brake fluid in it, but we haven't bled it yet because my wife is on vacation. I've ran new power cables. I haven't even got them zip tied up. One thing I did notice is that the transmission lines are looped, so I'm probably going to put a cooler into this for the transmission. Maybe not. I don't know. We've kept the two big tires on the front, but I might even change it up and go with smaller ones up front. We've thrown little tires on the back. These are 16s, 16 factory rims. I like them. They're big enough to keep me moving, small enough where they're not going to get damaged too much from other vehicles' bumpers. We haven't clamped the leaf springs yet. One thing I did realize is that this rear end is not welded, or if it was welded, it's broken because it's now non-posi. I've got this door open, which makes building this thing a lot easier. We put a gas tank in it, got our bracket down, we got a battery in it, but we haven't installed our bracket. But I built this truck, and I sent Buddy a message. I said to him, how did you have this thing wired up? Because, like, where do I turn on the power? Where do I jump the starter? And he says, you use the key. And I said to him, there is no key. So he told me he thinks he has a key for it, which is this. So he tells me that his child, his kid, has a nasty habit of taking keys and flushing them down the toilet. So every key they get, every vehicle they get, even derby cars, they make duplicates of the key and put them in drawers to hide them from the child. So he says this is the one he thinks is for this truck, and I'm really hoping it's for this truck, because if it's not, then I have to take that computer and I have to go get it tuned to get the security out of it. And if I'm paying to get the security out of this computer, which LS is quite common to be able to be done these days, if I'm paying to get the security out of it, I might as well pay to get like a 300 horsepower tune put in this thing. But the downside is it's going to cost me about $300. So I'm really hoping this key works, because I don't want to put $300 into this thing. Alright. The gauges came to life, but does it have a chip? It's got a security light on the dash. Oh, it fired up. Now, is that just fired up as in fired up and die because of security, or... Okay, fuel pump's hooked up. No, it runs. Let's get in this thing. There is no brakes. Well, it runs. The key works. That's what I'm most excited about. The key works. Oh, so much money I saved there. That is fantastic. Still no brakes. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy. I just saved myself $300. Thank you, Mike, and thank your child for flushing keys down the toilet, because if you didn't, this truck wouldn't have a key. So I got a key. So still plenty of stuff to do to this thing. There'll be still quite some time away. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put different tires on the front of this thing. The reason I'm going to put different tires on the front is because I think those are too big of a target, and if they go flat, I don't really have a lot of 16 truck sizes to be able to double. So I'm going to play it by ear and see what I can do. I don't mind the aluminum rims. I really don't. What I'd really like to do is get some 17s or 18s for the front of this, and then run low profile tires on them. So that way, even if the tire pops, the truck does not drop a lot. But the truck runs. So all the effort that I put into this thing is paying off. I haven't really put that much effort, to be honest. The previous owner put most of the effort into this, and it saved me so much time. I think I'm going to keep the Frankenstein theme, because you know what? He did a great job painting it. We're just going to repaint the doors with Cassandra's number, but he loves the Frankenstein. We might even wash it, pressure wash it, to get it all nice and clean. But what I like about it is I accidentally ripped the box side trying to bring it in, so it actually looks like more of a Frankenstein than ever before. So some things that we're going to do today is clamp the rear leaf springs, chain up the back end, and I'm going to weld this posi. Now, let's see, I have one arm underneath. My plan is just to lift the back of it high enough where I can sit on a stool underneath it. Oh. So let's get the back end of this thing up. There, that's about a nice height for me to work on it. So how do I know this thing's not posi? So on a posi vehicle, when you turn one tire forward, the other one will go forward. If it's not posi, when you turn this one ahead, that one will go backwards. So you see how it's going backwards? That means to me that the rear end is not welded solid. See how this one's going backwards now and that one's going forwards? So we're going to pull the cover off, drain out the fluid, get some rags in there, clean up as much fluid as we can, and do it like that. But that will be another video. But that's how you quickly see if your vehicle's palsy or not. Oh, I get some jack stands underneath this so it's a little bit more safe. But truck is coming along. It runs. It doesn't stop, but it runs. A little bit of hesitation, but I imagine there's some dirt inside this thing. We'll just try to clean that up a bit. And we got to put some water into it. A lot of other things that we can do to this thing as well, but it's coming along. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you back here on Cassandra's Truck Build.